All right, find the volume of each cone in terms of pi and then also rounded to the indicated unit. And for each one, they're doing it to the nearest full cubic unit. Nearest cubic foot for 17, nearest cubic inch for 18, nearest cubic meter for 19. No problem. And actually, this is finding it these two different ways is really not a stretch, because watch what we'll do. We'll say, okay, if the formula is area equals 1/3 pi times the radius squared times the height, we're going to drop those numbers in, and we're just going to leave pi as pi. Let's see, the radius is, if the diameter is 4, the radius is 2. And of course, this is worth noting because these are tilted, they're oblique, they call them. Okay, but this vertical height from the top of the cone down to the level of the base, to the plane of the base, that's equivalent to if it was straight up and down and it was its height. So even though it's oblique, it doesn't cause you any more difficulty. You still use that 4 as the height. Okay, and when we multiply this out, we get 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So then we get 16 divided by 3 times pi. Or another way to write that is 3 goes into 16 5 times and a third. So 5 and 1/3 pi feet cubed. Yeah? And that is an exact answer, because since we didn't type in pi, we didn't have to round it off. But we will get then as our second answer, the area is approximately equal to, now I have to do, oops, I have to do 5 1/3, or 16/3, times pi. And then I round it off. I got 16.7. I don't need to look any further than that, because I'm going to round to the nearest whole number. Is this 5 or higher? It is. And so since it's 5 or higher, I'm going to round that 6 up to a 7 and say the area is approximately equal to 17 feet cubed. Okay? Those two answers are my answer. Now, we'll do it again. The area is equal to 1/3 area of the base, pi times the radius squared, times the height. And we just fill in the numbers. 1/3 times pi times the radius. Well, if the diameter is 4, the radius is 2, times the height, 5.5. I'm going to type 5.5, or I'm going to write 5.5 instead of the fraction. It's equivalent. And then we've got 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 5.5 is 22. And then times the third is 22/3 pi. Or another way of writing that is 3 goes into 22 7 times, 7 1/3 pi, and the units are inches, inches cubed. Okay, that's an exact answer. But if I wanted to get the approximate rounded off by typing in the number, I would say, okay, we've got 22/3 times pi equals, approximately equal to, 23.0. And if I'm rounding to here, I look here, is that 5 or higher? No, it's not. It's a 0. So it just stays at 3. So the area is approximately equal to 23 inches cubed. Those two answers are our answers. And let's do it one more time. Area equals Oops. One-third pi times the radius squared times height. And let's see what we know. One-third pi, what is the radius? They're showing us that the radius is 2. So we've got 2 squared. The height is 3. So right away I can take a third of that 3 that we're multiplying by. Third of 3 is 1. Hopefully you can see that. Third of 3 is 1. So 2 times 2 is 4, times pi is 4 pi. Meters cubed. Okay, that's our exact answer. And we will then say, okay, then that's approximately to we do 4 times pi. 4 times pi is 12.566 something. We really only need that because what we're saying is we're rounding to the nearest whole unit. So is this 5 or higher? Yep, it is 5 or higher. That means that 2 will round up to a 3 and we get approximately 13 meters cubed. Okay, that's it.